There we go. Now that'll help. Sorry out there. Just turn the mic on. That's working. So yeah, it's warming up a little bit. Wasn't quite as frigid. I saw you were doing some, we should put those on here somehow. You were doing those, where you take the boiling water.
Oh, yeah.
Throw it over your head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always wanted to do it. And I was like, it's like 14 degrees out there, not even.
What is the threshold to do that? Temperature?
I am not sure. Actually, I would have to look it up. But I would assume it's in the 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I would think. Because I don't think you would want to do it closer to freezing.
See, I thought you did it the other day when it was below 0, but it was actually in the teens when you did that.
It was, wind chills were at 0. And I think the actual temperature was in the, I don't know if I forget if it was in the single digits or the teens. I said it in the video, but
yeah, that's on your TikTok page, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, TikTok. I put it on Facebook too, I think.
Yeah. So it's basically where you throw. We're just like sort of talking. It's like where you take boiling water and you sort of throw it up, and then it sort of crystallizes.
It makes the snow or just
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if it doesn't need to. So it wasn't quite as cold though this morning. I guess that's what we're getting at.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, I'm sure you'd still be able to do it today.
Yeah.
If you tried.
Yeah, it was.
Threshold exactly.
But yesterday it was, below 0. We saw very, very cold temperatures. Still looking cold. I need to add this thing. There we go. And now we can make it big. There we go. So there's the ice buildup. Pretty impressive along the river.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about that. For ice jams, I guess the one concern could be like some of the backwaters where the streams come into the river. If that gets backed up with ice, that could cause like a natural dam, and then you could have some issues there.
Yeah.
But trying to predict that, I think would be, we don't have to worry about that now. It's too cold for really a lot of the ice to break up. But once we get into a warmer pattern, some of that ice will start to break up. Maybe, start to move. What you like to see always with thaws, you like to see a gradual thaw.
Yeah, not all at once.
And you don't want like 60 degrees and rain the next day. So I don't foresee that happening here anytime soon. In fact, it's been a very cold January. I don't even know if I have all those stats in there. I can see the clouds are starting to gather a bit in the sky. I had some sun earlier. Speaking of ice, I feel like it's like Ice Baby. It needs to be brought to you by, I can't think of the guy's name. It's ice.
Is it vanilla?
Vanilla Ice, yes. Vanilla Ice. I couldn't think of, thank you. Vanilla Ice. More ice coverage. So now 81% of Lake Erie is covered in ice. That's impressive.
Yeah. What, in how many hours?
Well, yesterday was, around 60%. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they're using, I don't know how they come up with this. They're probably using like satellite imagery to look at where the water is open. You can see it's mainly open from, it's the eastern part of the lake that is open, and the western part of the lake is pretty much frozen over. But that's pretty good solid ice coverage. And that can affect some of the lake effect. But we also have to keep in mind that, the other lakes are open for business. Lake Erie happens to be the most shallow of all the Great Lakes, shallowest of the Great Lakes. Yeah. And so it tends to freeze over more so than the others. We was talking about this yesterday too, and this morning. It is just fascinating that snow down here in the Florida. There's still some snow on the ground, obviously. And then you look up here into Minnesota, there's no snow on the ground in southern Minnesota. I mean, when was the last time in January 23rd, there's more snow in Florida than Minnesota. I also saw some crazy stats where I think portions of Florida that had in New Orleans, they saw more snow with this system than New York has seen in the entire winter.
Yeah, I was even thinking of Alaska.
Yeah, there were, I think Anchorage, Alaska was one of those locations.
Which is crazy to think.
Yeah. So, and you look at this too, you could almost make out the storm track here. We've seen a lot of these little clippers. So just to the north of the storm tracks where you find the snow, and these clippers come through. So that's the northern one. And then that system was so far south because all that Arctic air pressed in. So that was more of a southern track. But that's kind of been the storm track this winter so far. Which has been pretty active for us. It's been giving us this northern track. It doesn't pick up a lot of Gulf of Mexico moisture, so we don't get big snows out of it. We get a lot of we've been like nickel and diming snows all winter. It's like we've been putting money in the piggy bank all January here when it comes to snow, but it adds up. So they're back to 10 below in International Falls. Yesterday we were colder than International Falls, which almost never happens. Canaan Valley, West Virginia was the coldest location in the United States yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, in the morning.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
is wild.
I think they dropped down to 28 below zero. So
wow.
Yeah, that's right on top of us. It was the coldest air. So you can see things are starting to get better. We're in the 20s now. Nashville's at 36. It's not quite as harsh out there today as it was yesterday. We're in the 20s, climbing the upper 20s. So it's crazy how 20 seems.
I know. I was telling people over the weekend, we're going to feel like summer by the end of the weekend to the weekend with the 20s and the 30s.
And, I always talk about how weather is relative a lot. And this morning was a perfect example. I mean, it was like 10 degrees, but the difference between 10 below and 10 above is 20 degrees. So anytime it's 20 degrees warmer, you're going to really notice it.
Yeah.
So there's a look at Wheeling with some of the ice, not nearly as thick as in Steubenville. Southwest winds at 10, 14, and you can see the cloudy sky. 14 is your wind chill right now. So that breeze noticeable today with this clipper passing by to our north. The winds are going to be picking up out of the southwest. And anytime you see a southwest wind, it tends to warm things up a little bit. And that's why we'll be in the probably upper 20s this afternoon. You see those snow showers coming in here this evening. It looks like after 6 o'clock. So we do have some snow in the forecast. Not a lot.
No.
A little bit.
Get a nice little dusting.
A little dusting coating. Probably won't have to do a whole lot of shoveling. Someone may get the jackpot, get a half inch, but a lot of dustings, just like the other day with these snow showers. It looks like the timing that could start as early as about 6 and then continue into midnight. A lot of what you're seeing right now moving through, I don't think a lot of that is really reaching the ground. It's more so this activity that we have. Could be a few flurries, I guess, up here, but this is we'll be swinging through here later today and this evening across Indiana. So there's an area of low pressure up here well north of us, and this is the trailing cold front. So right along that front is where we'll probably see our best chance of some snow shower activity. You can see that move in this evening through 5 o'clock. Not a lot of snow, and then after that, there's probably if you're ever venturing around 8 o'clock this evening, that'd be a good time to see some snowflakes coming down, and maybe enough to make it slick in a few spots. Nothing. We're used to it by now. If it was the first snow, we'd be like, "Oh, we got snow coming in." We'd be all excited. But now it's like,
It's just like we're kind of over it.
Yeah, exactly. There we are, 11 p.m. And speaking over it, by then a lot of the snow's moving on out around midnight. So 6 p.m. Midnight time frame, and then tomorrow morning, cold morning, teens around 12, 14 degrees, and kind of a cold day tomorrow, colder than today. Instead of upper 20s, we'll be kind of jumping up into the low 20s in the afternoon hours of Friday. Here's a look at some futurecast snowfall. For the most part, it's a half inch or less. You can see a few places it tries to paint a little bit of a higher picture, but I think this is like a dusting to half inch at most tonight. There's not a lot of moisture to work with it. So there's a look at the extended forecast. It's cold now, and then it gets seasonable for change, huh?
Yeah.
30s.
Around normal.
30s for highs, 20s for lows. It's normal. And next week's looking very ho-hum. I mean, kind of Jack Frostish. I mean, not Jack. I'm reading Stephanie's comment right here. It's just vanilla next week. There's just not a lot going on. Somebody upset Jack Frost this year, Stephanie says. I do have some graphics here somewhere about that would talk about the January that we've been seeing. So you guys may find this interesting. And Stephanie, this will go with your comment right there. I may have to remove your comment. Sorry. But through January 22nd, yesterday's date, this is the 10th coldest January on record, which is pretty impressive. And it's the coldest one since 31 years ago, 1994. That was a very cold January. That's when we had, this is how long ago it was. I was in college, Amanda.
I was not alive.
Thank you for reminding me that. Yeah. I was in college, January 19th, 1994. So what do you think all the meteorology kids at Penn State did when they closed college because of the cold?
We're outside.
Yeah. We went outside. Somewhere there's a picture of me. Now, this is before, iPhones and all that kind of stuff. So these are actual real pictures, but thank goodness. But somewhere there's a picture of me. I would no shirt on, and I wrote on my chest 22 below zero.
Oh my goodness. Someone needs to find this photo. If you're listening out there and you have this photo, we need to see it. Chime it in.
That's what you do as a weather geek. You do this kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So I remember that. But that's when we hit 22 below zero, our coldest all-time recorded temperature, and that was just bitterly cold. But yeah, but then you look at that 1977 January. I mean, how cold was that January? the mean temperature was 11.4.
Yeah, that is cold.
That's, I mean, you think it's cold this month. Subtract 10 degrees off everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you even really notice it when it gets much colder
I
than it
get,
was?
yeah, that is a good question. I don't know. Yeah.
Because when it's that cold,
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, cold.
Yeah. It is funny. The wind really does come into play.
It's huge.
Mhm.
Even standing outside when I was doing my live hits today, I was like, it's not as bad as when I did it last week, even though it might be a little colder. But that wind really like kicks you.
Like yesterday, it was hardly any wind, but it was very cold, and we saw the temperature. And these are some of the lows. The low temperatures that we saw yesterday was 7 below. Now that was at Ohio County Airport, and some places had colder temperatures than that. But it was funny. I was talking to my family about it, that, and I said, yeah, this is, the coldest in here. And they said, well, what about around Christmas Eve 2022 when we got that real blast of Arctic air? And I'm like, nah, it didn't. It was the coldest it was then was 4 below, as you see. It's the bottom one on that screen. But it felt so much worse because the winds were horrible then. So that's a big difference when the winds are really kicking. I remember wind chills were 20, 25, 30 below zero. I mean, the wind, it was just, and it was a constant wind that day. It was, I mean, it was the true Arctic Express. It was, I remember being at work, it was like around 4 a.m. and it was starting to rain, and then literally switched to snow in like a minute. And that temperature just dropped like a rock. I mean, oh, that was something, that one. But anyhow, this ties us, that 7 below yesterday that we saw was tied with 2015 as the coldest temperature of the century at Ohio County Airport. And it's kind of interesting. 2015, we only had to deal with it once this January. We had to deal with it 3 times that February in 2015. Coldest temperature observed this century so far at Ohio County Airport's 10 below zero in 2014. So some more weather facts there for you. You may be talking a little bit about this, about the potholes.
Yeah. We've seen it freezing, below freezing for a while now. And as we thaw things out, that moisture has to go somewhere, and it all kind of collects there. And once we see that refreezing and thawing and refreezing and thawing, we do see more potholes emerge. So I was telling people, you probably plan your path as you're driving to avoid all the potholes, but you need to watch out because there may be some new emergences of new potholes.
There are some craters. I was driving across the Vets Bridge the other day, and I don't know what, I thought I fell in a hole. I was worried. I thought I was going through. I thought I was going to go in the river. I mean, it was a hole. So look out on that one there. But yeah, once that water, it freezes. Of course, when it freezes, it expands, and then you get extra tire pressure moving over it. And guess what happens? It just starts to loosen up that pavement, and you get these big holes that develop. So, as we, the one good thing is we're starting to warm up here. In the forecast here, you can see that that we are starting to get a little warmer, but we're going to be getting into a little bit of a freeze thaw kind of a setup where we will be, thawing a little bit here during the day into next week, and then freezing back up at night. And I think that's going to be the perfect recipe. Also, another concern when we're getting these cold snaps and then we come out of them, water main breaks. They seem to be bad as well. So. Those are some things to maybe not look forward to, but be on a lookout for. Yeah. Let's see what we have in here. Earlier we had that's not New Orleans. That's President Trump. How'd that get in there? we had the camera in New Orleans earlier, so I was going to show that. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but we had it. We're down in Bourbon Street. They still were shoveling snow out there, which it was funny. I saw the Mardi Gras. They were joking around putting tire. I mean, it was like internet stuff. But putting on their tires instead of chains, they were using the Mardi Gras beads.
Mardi Gras beads
in New Orleans, on the tires. So if you're just tuning in, you saw the headlines of snow showers this evening. That's what we're looking at. Not a lot of snow, but starting around 6 p.m. to midnight, and it won't snow those whole 6 hours. It's like the time frame window in which there'll be snow showers just kind of coming and going. That's when we pick up a little dusting, maybe as much as a half an inch, maybe in a heavier snow shower. But most of these guys are going to be on the light side. Not a lot of moisture to work with this system. So just a little bit of snow. And if you're caught in one of those heavier snow showers, get a quick little dusting could make for a slippy spot on the roadway.
Yeah.
You ever say slippy?
Slippy.
Slip. That's I'm from Pittsburgh. That's a Pittsburgh thing.
Is that a Pittsburgh word?
Yes. Yeah.
I've learned most of the phrases.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're talking about when it comes to snow. Not a lot of snow. Still no big snowstorms. I don't know.
I want 3 feet.
3 feet.
At least. I honestly don't know how.
Would you take a 3-foot drift?
No,
you might.
I'm not big fans of drifts. I want it completely coated.
If
across
we have 3 feet, that's like our biggest snowstorm ever, I think.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, I'm not wishing for that. I'll take the blizzard of '93, March 13th, 1993. We had 24 inches. That was a storm.
That's awesome.
And there were some drifts there that you would be buried under. Yeah, I mean, because it was literally a blizzard. We had those winds of 35 miles per hour sustained, and that was a wild storm.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah,
I want a blizzard, or I want 3 feet.
Okay. Well, for those of you that want blizzards, I always say go to your Dairy Queen. They have them year round. That is one of those things of blizzards. A lot of people, when you say a blizzard, they think immediately like a big snowstorm. A lot of people think that big snowstorms are blizzards, but really it's the wind.
It's the wind. Yeah, it's all the wind, or mostly the wind.
Yeah, in fact, you could have a blizzard where there's not much snow falling or any snow falling. If you like out there right now, if you had 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground and we had sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, for what is it, like 3 hours or more, or 6?
It might be 6.
6 hours, maybe. I mean, that would technically be a blizzard. And no snow would be falling, but
just the blowing snow.
Yeah. So that's what blizzards are kind of rare. You need that combination of the wind and either snow on the ground or snow falling. But our last true one was 1993. So that's over 30 some years now. I think that was in this area.
Yeah.
There was 1996, there was the blizzard of 96, but that I don't think that really was. It wasn't a blizzard here. It was a blizzard east of here. We did get a foot out of that, but we didn't meet the wind criteria for that one. I'll have to double check because I don't think we've had a true blizzard when it comes to the wind since 1993.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Due for one, guys.
We are due. I guess that does put the cherry on top. If you get a big I always say this with the winter, winter is sort of come and go, and the ones you remember are the ones with the big snows. If you have it could be like a normal kind of ho-hum winter, nothing's going on, and then you get one big storm, people will say that winter was the worst winter ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it'll stick with them.
Only takes one.
It only takes one.
Only takes one. So we'll see. But nothing on the horizon, that's for sure. It doesn't look like we have any big storms on the horizon, but you guys will be the first to know, and we will be the first ones to tell you.
Yeah.
And Nathan, he'll be here too. He's just not here now.
Yes.
He's with us in spirit.
He's with us in spirit. He's probably still sleeping.
You never know. Look at the time. Where's the time gone? It's 11:30. We need to get ready for News 9 Midday, which is coming up as always at noon today. And Amanda and every day.
Except for the weekend.
Yeah, Monday through Friday. And Amanda will be I don't know, we got to work on something for you to do because I just heard that you're not going outside. So I think we're going to have to do some tag team.
Tag team.
This is maybe we could ask someone at the beginning. What do you want us to tag team weather about?
Yeah, that
throw it out to the people. What do you want to know? Yeah,
I'll talk about it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you could do the. I think of some people. What was this? Marianne like this. She said a wow on the coldest January. So I think we could talk about that maybe, or something, or potholes, ice jams. There's a lot to talk about. There is. We've got to go work it out. Okay, everyone. Have a wonderful, what is today? Thursday. Today's National Pie Day, too. Got to throw one more graphic in. One more graphic. Got to throw the pie. Make everyone hungry. Pie Day. Now, not to be confused with Pie Day spelled P-I, which is March 14th. Yes. Yeah, that's different pie. That's
3.14.
Yeah, that one. Is that how many numbers? You know a lot of the numbers.
No, Jordan did.
That was Jordan do all the numbers. Yeah, I remember someone knowing the numbers.
Yeah, Jordan did.
Yeah, I know 3.14. That's about it. Then what? 5.9.
3.141526 something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't fact me.
I'm more into these pies right here. You got the pecan pie. Yeah.
See, I'm not a big pie person.
Not at all.
If it's chocolate. like a chocolate.
It needs to be a chocolate,
just like fully
silk
chocolate
pie.
Yeah.
I like a peanut butter pie. If you ever go to the Carroll County Airport, they have awesome pies there. Their peanut butter pie. My wife raves about it. Yeah, it's really cool. In Carroll County, they call it the $1 Million Burger. They have a diner right there at the Carrollton Airport. So people that have licenses to fly need to, get so many flying hours in to keep their flight license going. So what people will do is they'll fly from, I don't know, wherever, Pittsburgh, Canton, Akron, little airports, Wintersville. They have the little planes. They fly to the Carrollton Airport and they go there, they eat lunch, and then they leave. So that's why they call it like the $1 Million Burger there, because it's like this little diner that's right there at the airport.
Yeah.
And they call it $1 million because the burger's not that much, but if you're into flying, you're probably putting $1 million into licenses and planes and gas and everything else. So, yeah. So, but they have a road trip. I'm telling you, if you want some good pies, they're not even telling me this. If you want some good pies, that's where you go. James loves your TikToks. We need more TikToks. You do one every day.
I do one every day. I've been
every day since she started here. She has done a TikTok. That is impressive.
It's hard sometimes, but
you have any ideas for something lined up?
Yeah, I did one already today.
Well, I don't even know you did it.
Yeah, already done, Jeff.
You're done. Is it already out there?
It's already out there to the public.
Is it good?
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's a trendy one. It's not anything.
Okay.
Not anything crazy.
You were sad that TikTok went away. It was like didn't even last 24 hours.
I went into depression. I was mourning the app, and then I woke up the next day and people were saying it was back.
It's back. It's back. So
we're back.
Yeah, we're back. So check out what is your TikTok link?
That's just my name. Yeah, just Amanda Barrier.
Oh, okay. I think that'll be James he's on to something. I think that'll be you got to change the handle to Love Amanda Barrier TikTok. That'll be your handle. Love Amanda Barrier. Okay, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy Pie Day. We're gonna get ready for the noon news. We'll see you there on the tube if you want to join us. Have a great day. Bye. I never know how to end these.
I know.
Just hit the button.